It happened. It happened. We knew it was going to happen eventually, but you're never quite ready for it. It happened. I got my first CNC commission. Whew. Here's the thing is, I've made stuff before, and you make stuff especially for yourself all the time, but you know, when you're making something for somebody else that's kind of new, there's a little bit of different feeling towards it. It's got to be good. You don't want to make something and ship it off and them not really like it. You know what I mean? So here it is. My friend Jim Altman.
Hi, Jim.
He's a great juggler, performer, travels all over the place. So he sees a post that I put on Facebook of me doing the card pavers. If I ever get that done, you'll see it too. And he says, hey, I see you bought a CNC machine. I'm kicking around an idea for a gift for my girlfriend. Happy birthday. We just built a 2-story enclosure for our ducks and chickens and a goose. The goose's name is Peeps. We've been calling the setup Peeps Palace. I was thinking either painting a sign or something, and then he asks about it and whatnot and this and that. So I said, hey, I'm not super fancy yet, but I'll give it a shot. And this conversation was over a couple of weeks. He was on tour. He was doing stuff. He likes the idea of a CNC. He's gonna paint it, which is great because it means I don't have to finish it. So he says, thinking of a goose silhouette and Peeps Palace wording and possible filigree. I'm not sure what a filigree is. I'm guessing it's, something fancy. All the best, Jim. I kind of sketch up a thing. I send it to him. And this is what I get back. Oh my God, that's pretty darn close to what I had pictured in my head. Now, if you make anything, that is the kind of response that you absolutely love to get from anybody. Hey, that was just what I was thinking. We are on the same page. This is moving along swimmingly. Blah, sorry I didn't get back to you right away, blah, blah, blah. He asked what size that was, even though it was just a drawing. I said 14 inches, and he said that's great. So we're going with the 14 inches. Making a sign. A lot of people make signs with CNCs. It shouldn't be that hard. But again, I don't know. So he asked what kind of price. I said, geez, I don't know. Because honestly, I don't know. I've never made a sign on the CNC. I've made my concrete molds and a couple little things trying to learn how to use it. That's about it. So give him a really good friends and family price. And basically, he's going to be my guinea pig. He doesn't know it, but, sorry, there's a saw. Something going on down the street. I think they're cutting down a tree. What the heck's going on over there? What, are you cutting down a forest? Don't they know there is high-end video production going on over here that's going to be seen by tens of people? So I know what I want to do. I have basic design. Need to get some wood. So this sign's going to be outside for the chicken coop. Car. A lot of good woods that go outside. A lot of hardwoods. Oak and stuff like that. Even some pines are good for outside. For this sign, I thought for this one I would go with redwood. Redwood's great. It's like rot resistant, kind of bug resistant, and once it's treated and painted and whatnot, I think it'll last. Car, I think it'll last. Alright, first let's flatten. I'm going to take off just a little bit of this edge so that I have a perfectly square flat to glue to. original Gorilla Glue is waterproof. It's the more orangey stuff. It doesn't look like normal wood glue, but it foams. It expands in there once you put it in. So you got to clamp it really well, or it'll push your pieces apart. Of glue on the table saw. Yes. That's not great for your tools. But here's a little tip. Glue is like bird poop. It's better to clean it up after it dries. That's not always true. That's a bad tip. Don't listen to that tip. Yeah, that's a bad tip. That's all. I got my piece made. Now I gotta surface it. I gotta level it. I gotta do one side, then flip it over so it's nice and flat. Then do the other side. That way, when we CNC the design, it'll be nice and even all the way across there. One thing I haven't figured out yet in this G-Sender program is how to do that. So let me figure that out. Alright, let's go to surfacing. Okay. Cut, depth, and max. Let's do the size first. No, that's 100, 200, 300. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 620 by 100, 200, 300, 400. Let's just say 500. Let's see, we'll start it here. We'll generate a G code. Looks like a thing. Alright. Let's put a thing on here and see what happens. Okay, that's one side. Looks good. Now I gotta clean up and flip it over and do the other side. Now I have my slab piece, whatever you call it, what's going to be the sign. And I cut it a little bit big, not quite remembering the 14-inch thing, but it's all right, I got extra. We're gonna leave that laid out for cutting now that it's nice and flat, and I gotta go back and I just gotta make sure. I mean, he approved a picture, a quick snapshot of my screen and said, yeah, that looks good. So I'm gonna go back through and make sure everything's straight, everything's tidy, little bitty changes. Make sure all my depths are good for my cuts. Think about what I'm gonna do about the edge, that kind of thing. Man, we got saws, we got planes, we got cars, we got trucks. This is suddenly the busiest street in the city. Okay, for the rough cut, I'm using a 1/4-inch down cut spiral bit, and for the finish cut, I'm using a 60-degree V-tip, V-carve bit. And it's time. No going back now. Nothing left to it but to do it. goes nothing. Little ways in, it's looking pretty good. I'm not getting any tear out. Everything's pretty smooth. You can see the lines. It's got the raised letters. It's just now starting on the little fleur-de-lis stuff. Getting the border going. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Looks good. Looks good. Here. Here it is. That's the rough pass. Happy with it. Haven't completely messed this up yet. So there's an option when you're cutting on the CNC. When I planed this, it went around once and then it cut mostly with the grain. You can set it so you do either a circle through the whole thing, or you can cut zigzag this way or zigzag this way. When it cuts the thing, it's going to follow the shape of whatever you're cutting out. But for the big areas, it'll mostly follow the direction that you say to go. On this, with the wood, I chose to cut mostly with the grain. And here's why. This was a tip I picked up online. You can see right here. So when I planed it, it first did an outside pass. And you can see a very tiny tool line right here. It's very smooth right here. It's a little rougher right here. But what that is just the way the tool's cutting against the grain. Now for the majority of the cut, if you go with the grain, if there is a tiny tool mark in there, the grain will hide it, a lot of it. You can, ow, splinter. Now I gotta do the finishing pass. While I'm waiting for this to cut, I should be cleaning over here, but there's a girl at work who's having a baby and she'll be leaving soon to go do that. So as a baby gift, I'm making her a little set of baby's first workwear, a little work shirt and a pair of steel-toed boots. Steel toes a requirement. Don't worry, no babies were harmed in the testing of these steel toes. This is a 2.5 hour, So about 5 o'clock, I'll come back and I'll see what's going on. Yeah, so at the end, since it cut it out, I used the little oscillating tool to trim it out, and then I just put a regular bearing router bit in thing and kind of use it like an upside down table router, which is great because you can see what you're doing. And with that, I did the edges, rounded those off, clean it up, and get it shipped off to them. All right, and here it is. Ta 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 ta. That's it. Give it a nice little round over on the edges. I was worried originally that it might be too deep of a cut, but I really think it turned out looking good now. It's nice and thick. It's got almost an amusement park kind of a sign feel to it. It's solid saw. I know right away some people are gonna hate me for using the Gorilla Glue on the wood. Here's the thing, is Gorilla Glue is fantastic. It's completely waterproof, and once it's dry, it's non-toxic. So if the animals start to chew on this, it ain't gonna hurt them. The reason original Gorilla Glue is not recommended for fine wood projects is because it does not accept any kind of stain. It is completely waterproof, does not absorb after it's cured. So you'd have something like this, you're gonna stain it back, and you're instantly gonna see that glue line. That's why. Other than that, it holds awesome. I'm hoping the redwood was a good choice. It should last forever outside. The only thing with redwood is because it's got a natural oil to it, you need to prime it before you paint it. Jim, before you paint this, prime it. And that's that. That's my first sign, my first CNC commission. I still don't know what I would charge for this if someone else wanted one. I gotta sit down. I'm not sure how long it took me. What did it take me? An hour to cut and surface everything. I spent some time on the computer. And then, yeah, the CNC did most of the work, but I sat here watching it the whole time because it's just fun. I don't know if those are billable hours or if that's considered break. I don't know. So there you go. Peeps, I hope you like it. Thanks for watching Uncle Benny's Garage. Thanks for letting me make you a sign. Cheers. Stops. Oh, sure, I'm done filming. Now the noise stops. Of course.